John D. Rockefeller, oh my gosh. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Oh, you too, thanks. With the red hat. That's the Gilded Age, William Jennings Bryan, Mary Elizabeth Lees, mostly, with the populist movement, and then we have Jane Addams, Teddy Roosevelt, and Woodrow Wilson. So that's progressive era. There's a lot more people, but those are the main actors that are kind of referenced around different chapters in your textbook and also in the lectures. And they have really foundational influence on American society. So there's that as well. So major documents in court cases, that's the Reconstruction Amendments, so 14, 15, 13, 14, and 15. We've kind of already been talking about those, it's just so we know. Okay, maybe I need to spend more time on this in my textbook. Civil rights cases, there's a lot going on in 1883. We've got multiple lectures on the periods of 1870 to 1900s, a 30-year period in American society, super, super big. Socially, politically, culturally, there's a lot going on. Plessy versus Ferguson, we've already talked about that. Separate but equal is really important to mention. If you have that on your exam, most likely that will be something for you to write about because it's so much. So I would definitely spend more time on that. Sherman Antitrust Act, that is to prevent monopolies. So the robber barons during this time, robber barons is used as a derogatory term. It's not a good thing to be called a robber baron. And they are basically the 1%. They're taking in all of the money from American society, and that's why we have this Sherman Antitrust Act. So most likely, you're looking at already 2 terms that I'm gonna put for you to write on. Because you can kind of look at terms, you know, there's a lot of information, so you can have a write about that. Espionage and Sedition Acts too, that is in the Progressive and World War I chapter of the book. Okay. So Chicago style, I wanted to talk about because some of y'all get a little scared about new things. So like I said on Canvas, Canvas has been busy lately for our class. She's updated, she's busy, she's thriving, she's got a lot going on. So we have quizzes. Quizzes, those are graded quizzes, but like I said, you can take them in a limited amount of times. It's to help you study for your midterm. So all the quizzes, like I said, we put it in pool quiz question, put it on your midterm. So we have 20 questions. So I'm gonna pull an assortment. I might add 1 or 2 that are from like me from lecture, but a lot of that has been also talked about in lecture and your textbook. So repetition. If you can take those quizzes a couple times, like it'll stay in your brain and it'll help you out. I want to make sure that our assignments are building on each other. So like today we're going to do our in-class writing assignments. So we are going to talk about terms, so I wanted to do the review before we do that. So it's kind of like getting those juices flowing in your brains, big brains. And yeah, so Chicago style, I have this as well. This is also Chicago style that I have in your Canvas module with your papers. So there's different options because you need to have 3 sources for your book, your papers. So your papers are 50 points. You're gonna have 4 papers. So 2 are already posted. The first one's gonna be on Andrew Carnegie and the Triumph of Steel. There's a Gilded Age documentary you can use, the textbook, and also my lectures. So there's 4 different sources, and you need to use at least 3, and all in Chicago. So with Chicago style, you do not need a works cited page, you're just using footnotes. So if you've ever read a book, it's at the bottom where there's a little note and teeny tiny little writing, that's Chicago. That's literally what you're doing. Ooh. So I'm setting a book with 1 author, so first and last name would be Eric Foner. Title of the book is Give Me Liberty in American History, Volume 2, so that'd be italicized. Place of publication, I don't remember exactly, but we have the publisher, that's W.W. Norton. Year it was published, I think it's 2014. Then the page number. So the page number is important so I know where you're at in the textbook. And then here's the document, so it's the title of document, so there'll be an Andrew Carnegie document that I have posted on there. Publishing organization or the website. So that one is American Yacht, so American Young American History Reader or something like that. So the date access, the URL, and the page number. There's not a page number for that one, so you don't need a page number. Okay. A written lecture, I don't have any written lectures right now on my So video lecture, all of the video lectures, they have titles. So you just put the title of the lecture in parentheses. The publishing organization, so that'd be Canvas. In italics, so italicized Canvas. The date that you access, October something something. The URL, literally from the search bar, and then the time in the lecture. So it'd be like 5:25. So 5 minutes and like 25 seconds. That's it. Okay? Cool beans. I'll show you also what it looks like. Do we use Word or do we use Google Docs more? Do you use Google Docs? Like when you're doing assignments, do you use Word or do you use Google Docs?
Word.
Word.
Oh, use both. Okay, cool. I'm gonna see if it'll let me run here. It's basically the same thing. I just wanna see where we're at. Oh my god. This is space for me. No. So let's see, action. Life history. Action is due in our class, just so you know. This is right there. That's action. He likes history. So I will go in the search bar and I type in insert footnote. Oh my gosh, there it is. And then you literally do what I asked you to do in the PowerPoint. That's it. Not crazy. So I'm just putting that as so you can see. Oh my god. What did I do to this? Wow. That was so big. I don't know. So I'm just gonna. So this one is gonna be Times New Roman. Everything is Times New Roman, 12-point font. And then I want it to be double spaced. So you have a series of questions. So there you go. That's the view. There's Ashton. It's not formally a paper. You're answering a series of questions, so then you just have the paragraph number. So I could put, so this is the primary source you would read. It's very short. I try to make them as short as possible. Andrew Carnegie, we've talked about him in class. We've already referenced that we talked about him. He's in the Gilded Age lecture. He's also in your textbook. So that's Andrew Carnegie, and there's also a documentary that you can use as well. So you can use me, the Gilded Age lecture that I posted. There's the primary source and the documentary. And you can also use your textbook. But you need to use 3 different sources. So you're gonna use either one of these. Okay? Then your second one is on William McKinley and the Spanish-American War. You do need to watch this documentary because of the questions that are on this. So. Andrew Carnegie. So these are the questions, there's 6 of them. And you just number the paragraphs, it's left indented. The only thing that's centered is the title. And everything is left indented, numbered paragraph. So you just do like 4 to 7 sentences, maybe 5 to 8 if you're feeling kind of crazy. But yeah, these are supposed to be broad to make you kind of think about what's going on. We've talked about everything in here, so it's not like a surprise, not something you haven't encountered before. So the only thing that's single spaced is the title, so it's your heading, so your name, the date, and the word count. You do need to put the word count just so I can see that you're doing it. 12-point centered is just the title. You don't need a title page, because sometimes for Chicago, if you look it up, it says a title page. Don't need one. So that's your name, date. You don't have to put the class if you don't want to, but the word count. And double space for the text. Times New Roman. So Chicago style, we just went over that. 550 to 1,000 words. I will accept 500, but as you type, if you don't think about the word count, you'll hit it if you hit all the questions. And then 3 more sources. So when you write a quote from lecture, your textbook, and the documentary. So don't Don't do block quotes. I've already read the material, I've already spoken, I don't wanna hear myself or read myself, I wanna know how your brain's working. So use 1 to 2 lines of quotes, and then the rest of it, I really want it to be your analysis in your own words. I just want the quotes to be there to make your argument or whatever you're saying stronger. I don't want your entire paper to be quotes, okay? Don't do block quotes, because you're gonna get points marked up, because I wanna know what's going on in your brain. Okay. So please submit only a PDF or Word document. Don't include the questions, just number your paragraphs, so PDF or Word. And don't use outside sources. Please don't use AI. I have a way to look at AI, and you're using really big words. There's no way you're using that unless you have like an awesome thesaurus dictionary. So don't even just don't. I know you're cheating, you know you're cheating, so what are we doing here? Just don't do it. There's no point. I'd rather have you do a bad job and it's in your own words than you copy it and then you get a full 0. These are 50 points, so you're just gonna give me points. Okay? That's what we got. Okay, do you feel good enough to do an in-class writing assignment? Do 5 W's? Oh, he says no. He says no. Alright. We're gonna do it anyways. So, does everybody have a sheet of paper? If not, do we have friends that can share a piece of paper? We use front and back.
I have some.
You have friends? You have friends.
Thank you so much.